Morning, Anne-Marie. So I just muted you all because a bit of background noise there. As always, you can interact just by reminding me to unmute. Takes 2 seconds. Yeah, of course. Yes, that's all done now. 2 weeks, where the hell you go and all that sort of thing. And yeah, back to the new year. Comes the season to everybody, yeah. Probably a few people still drifting back. I think there'll be fall back to the work face, right? Yeah. Next week there'll be a lot more volumes traded last week. Very quiet last couple of weeks, understandably. Most of the traders are out and about rather than at their desk. I've been monitoring the last few days and haven't really posted because really couldn't come up with anything that seemed to be moving in any direction. But maybe that can change from now. Hang on, wasn't a bad one. We still, the GBP AUD or whatever it was, didn't work out. The other's not too bad. One hit TP, in fact, took it out nicely. The other one did okay. Still doing okay. What was it? It was a short on the dollar. Not too bad. Jumped around a bit, but it seems to be okay. Guys might be stopped down at a profit if they modified. Might be still in, but they've still been a bit of a profit. Get where it was now. I think it was quite a while back. 93.65 was the sell. So if you're still in, you'd be smiling. So I think it'd be a bit unfair in a luck situation there. Excuse me, I just dropped something. You're getting a little bit unfair in your luck situation there, Mr. Watts. Not too bad. Unless you took the one that was the wrong one. Oh, well, yeah. Actually, that is the point why I don't want about people trying to get some money in their account. And that's why I have a minimum for my group WhatsApp, because the simple reason is if you're getting 4 trades out and you haven't got enough money to go all 4, you've got to pick and choose. And as Jethro said there, he missed, or he he had enough money, but let's say he didn't have enough money and he decided to pick A and because he couldn't do B, C, or D. And A was the one that didn't work out. He's going to be fed up. But if he had enough money and he went A, B, C, and D, he'd been smiling. What he lost, he won on the others. You get the idea. That's why one of the ideas to make a membership. 2 reasons to have the membership of the group. I'll post it just now. The numbers is for that reason. Is to have enough money, and even that's quite small, 2.5 grand. It might be a lot of money to a lot of people, but still, in the scheme of $1 trillion international market, it's not big money. But at least it's enough to try and cope with the signals. But if you've got less than that, you're not going to be able to cope. And it will give hopefully that incentive to be the member. And now I only got the good ones, so I love you. Don't take it the wrong way. I mean, purely metaphorically. Don't get excited, young man. Yeah. That's the idea. It's like anything. I'm trying to get through. Capitalism is need capital. That's why you might have an idea, but no, the capital, you can't implement it. And this is a business like any other business. And that's why, for your sake, I do my thing. It's not about me trying to sell you something. It's just pointing out that if you're undercapitalized, it's going to be a hassle. Can't open a business with 1,000 rand. Well, you get it. I mean, you can trade with it, but it's really limiting you. Try and do it properly. And what does amaze me, the amount of people are paying £1,000 a month for the training and put maybe £1,000 in 1 month to make use of it. Why would you spend an enormous amount of money getting knowledge and then have virtually no money to make use of that knowledge? It makes no rational sense. So all it comes back to our good friend, fear and emotion. Try and rationalize a little bit and it'll make more sense. Okay, that's the thing. Because, yeah, we've got to use that. Jethro, we're going to be careful of that, but I totally take what you mean. But then again, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. I must think a little bit. I'll tell you what, if you buy this course of me for 50,000 rand, all we need to put is 2,000 rand in to make it back. But the common sense says, well, hang on, that doesn't add up. It's up to the person over 18 to make their own decision, think it out a little bit. Yeah, but I hear your point. But anyway, I'll try to put it right here. an objective. And what I do here is live, so my ask is on the line to see it. I can't go back and put a YouTube video out saying, you know, you bought here, which I did, and I put a few lines in there. Look at the amount of money you made. Well, I can do that because that happened. Now, where's this going to go from here? Ah, well, that's different. We try to work on not what has happened, which you can play around with, but what's likely to happen. And I do apologize when it gets wrong. And I will jump up and down when it goes right. Yeah. Anyway, that being as it may, Happy New Year, everybody. Sheffield, good to have you back. We all do that. Yep. Just going to put my number up again. Just give me a moment. Put in the wrong stuff. Just a second, let this guy in. Or ladies, it turns out. We'll have a look at it just a second. Now, this is very important, guys. There's the number up there. This is for guys who want to be a member of my group. As a minimum $2.5 grand upwards to be a member. It's a WhatsApp group where you'll get signals posted. It's been quite a last couple of days. I always post for the sake of it, but often you get several on there. Anyone who's been a member for a while will know that. You get daily updates, etc. If you've got, if you've got $2.5 grand or more, you can WhatsApp me on that. I'll check it out, obviously, and then I'll send you my details and obviously upload it to the group. If you do have that, please don't say, I like to be a member of your group and leave it at that. I know, who the hell are you? You know what I mean? Or don't say, oh, this is George. I've got this in the trading room. I'd like to be a member of your group, got 2.5. Who's George? So put your full names and your real account number. It saves me time and everything can be done a lot quicker. Now, it's not drag information out, rather volunteer it to make our lives easier. So, and then if you got it, if you've got less than that, you can get MT5 signals sent to you when they're posted, not as many as on my group. If you've got less than 500, as far as I know, you won't get any anyway. And I'm going to be honest, you got 300 or 400. I'm going to be horribly honest. Let's just get this right. You're wasting your time. It's just so undercapitalized. It's ridiculous. I mean, I went out for a chow yesterday with wine and coffee, and even had a beer and seafood platter for one or whatever. And I came with tip over 500 grand. And you know, price of a meal for one, and you want to trade international markets. So if you're putting 200 or 300, this is not going to work. So try and incentivize yourself. If you want to do this, you've got to get the knowledge, you've got to have equipment, you've got to have the capital. Trying it half-heartedly means the little you got is going to go. I think you need to be upfront on this and do it properly. Okay. And anybody on here has been trading for a while, so backing up on that. Yeah, I agree on that one, Michael. Let's come to that. Totally agree on that one. Looked at a few this morning, which we can go through now. We'll start with gold. Yeah, buy. Why to say buy? Chinese are buying up gold big time now. They're not stupid. They know there's a big recession coming on. The non-farm, as you know, came out Friday and is better than expected, about $26,000 better than expected. So that means easing off on the inflationary aspects. Or other aspects looked at it. It looks like they might easing off on interest rate increases or not, or lesser increase or whatever. So in my opinion, for the time being, this could change. I'm looking at a bit of dollar weakness going forward and a gold bullish going forward. It's upside on gold. Right. So the thing is now we want to buy gold. Clearly, we've established that, and I agree with you on that one. Is it, Mikkel? Yeah. I totally agree with that. So next thing is, right, great. Let's get the risk reward. Let's go ahead and buy it. The problem is I want to get the right price. Simple as that, guys, you know. I like your house, but $1 million is too much. I think 950 is a better price. So I'm going to risk missing out buying a house. Somebody else might pay the price and get it, but I'm going to risk missing out and I'm wait till I get a better, what I think is a better value at 950. Same principle with gold. I'm looking to get in around about these levels here. About 1865, somewhere around a little bit better, maybe say 1865, a bounce of it about 1865. Try to get in around about there, slightly burnt. Bloody thing. Excuse me a second. Probably easier on this. That will do. Right, trying to get 1865. If we can come back to there and get a bit of a bounce, I'd like it. Okay, so yeah, I totally agree. This is written down, buy gold at the moment where the dollar's weak. Sell the dollar's a bit of a big word because it depends what it's against. But gold, I agree with. I just feel I can get a better price. It's trying to break 1880 at the moment. It's failed a couple of times. We might miss out. We might go back. We're not on board. Well, that's up to you. You might say, "Sod, I'm going on board anyway." All I can do is offer advice, what I think, and I could say, right, I'm too cautious and it shoots up. You want to go on board? That's up to you. I'm just giving my thoughts on it. So yeah, I want to buy it, but I want to get a better price. Okay. Well, to get my thoughts on it, I'm just going to buy it. He wants my thoughts. Now those are my thoughts. And a little bit there on Jethro, 1880, might break through, then we'll look for 1900, get a risk reward. But if we get it back, I think we can get it there. We have to make it come all the way back here. Some drastic's got to change to get back here. But I think back here, we might be able to do it. But I'm not sure I'll be chasing it now. Okay. Well, if you're in, you're not wrong. Might pull back a bit and go up. As long as your stop loss is below 1865, maybe 1860, something like that. The only thing, if you're doing that, you don't know what price you got it at. You've got a minimum of 1900, which nice to get to. Point of concern. Okay. Okay, so gold, keep an eye on it, put it in your watch list, whatever. See if we can get a pullback. If we do this session, remind me, we'll have a look at it again. Stuff to look at. And if we get the R up, if that happens. Okay. Yeah. And then this afternoon, have another bash. So just remind me on that. Get a pullback, buy it. Yeah. Hi, Zeph. Good to have you back. Conferences, all that. A few regulars coming back in. John's coming in. Knowledge coming in. Yeah. Good. Happy with that. Okay. Fine. Remember, this is a forum. I have my opinions. It could be different to what actually happened to the price. I don't know. Everyone's got their opinions. All right. CAD's JPY. CAD sell JPY. I mentioned a while back strong, medium, and lightweight currencies. A lot of that's changed now, by the way. So don't. I think Mark Shearer put in. He bought it because the idea was one with everyone lightweight. But that was a month or two ago. Things have changed. A lot of stuff has happened in the meantime. So, the Canadian, like the US dollar, seems to follow the dollar quite a lot, doesn't it? Even though it's a resource country. It seems to be slightly on the weaker side now. Japanese yen, stronger. They've issued a lot of bonds at a higher interest rate, which are prepared to pay to borrow the money, which strengthen their currency a bit. So Japanese now is quite a stronger one. The Canadian's quite weak. So that would have been a horrific thought a couple of months or so ago, hey, Jethro? Now it's not such a bad idea. What he's looking at now, and I can clearly see on the technical, what the technical's about, just to remind you guys, is what the buyers and sellers are doing. We complicate it too much, and all sorts of rigmarole we put on there, which is great fun, and the rest of it, but how many cherries you put on the top of the cake, not a very good analogy there, it's still got to remember the basic behind the chart is to get an idea of what the buyers and sellers are doing and get some picture of what to target. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to Durban, you've got to make sure you take profit before your car hits the sea or you're going to drown. So everyone can see the sea, so they stop the car and get out. You know what I mean? So that's where the support resistance comes in. Never oversimplify, I hope you know what I mean. And the bottom line is the big money leads. It always has done, probably always will. Small money does count when it's collectivized with millions of people, then it becomes big money under a fund, if you like. So the bottom line, the big money, the fund owned, high worth individuals, governments or whatever, playing around with it, they will push the price because they can push it. And at the moment, the Canadian is definitely a weak one. The Japanese is stronger. So yeah, it looks like it's hit the high there, a bit of resistance, and looks a bit of downside. So is there any problems? Yeah, well, yeah, there is, unfortunately. What is the problem? I hope you see what I'm thinking here. So I want to show what I'm thinking clearly to get the reason why I'm a bit nervous. It didn't get follow through here. It didn't get follow through here. It didn't get follow through here. And it didn't get follow through here. All right, it's been a quieter period. I get that over the Christmas period. I get that, but still, it hasn't. So if you're going to sell it, put the stop up here. I suppose we could do. Are we going to take it down to, let's say, 120 minimum? Yeah, we can do. We take it about there. We'd certainly get a 2-to-1. Can do. It's got to break that one there. It's a 10-day moving average, guys. Buyers came in and buyers came in. So to be honest, I see the sell, and I see the resistance. I see the point. I see everything. I'm just a bit nervous. Okay, I'm just nervous lack of follow through. Maybe we'll get more activity when they're all back at their desk by next week. All will be fully back to as it was before. People still drifting back as we speak. So it might get a sideways volume still. Was better than last week, to be fair. But I'm still a bit nervous to short it when I see it. Anybody get a bit stronger mind on that and more confident to short it? Yeah, but Pello, there's this big talk about billionaires. I remember the days of models, used to be models. And then now every model's a supermodel. Everyone throwing around billionaires. How many billionaires in the world at the moment? There's less than 100, you know, just millionaires, plenty. Billionaires, very few. And do you need a million anyway? And a lot of it comes out, oh, I'm budding billionaire. Most people, I'm going to be honest with you, think a bit of a prank, you know what I mean? You get you know, invite people to take the mickey. It's not likely. Don't be negative here, it's not likely. So are they aim at the millionaire thing? So I'm leave it alone. I'm Marie on that. Anyone like it? We have done gold and go back to it. We've got an eye on it. Want to buy the pull back to 1865, by the way, Vio. But yeah, are we leaving this alone? Anyone want to short it at market? We can get a risk reward if you want to do it. The record I'm going to give you on this. Okay. Around this level. Could well be, yeah. But yeah, the moment it's short. Now, as I say, you've got to remember how markets change. Don't marry it. You know, that was the strongest, that was the weakest. Now it looks like not exactly vice versa, but this is stronger than the other one at the moment. So yeah, just got to keep a mind open for that. We tend to get into habits. Sorry, the new rule in, you've got to drive on the right. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Keep an eye on it. No, I'm not sure about that on the gold. We'll go back to the gold, guys. I'm not sure about shorting it. I buy the pullbacks. Gold is bullish at the moment. And that's not just me. Analysts say that as well, although I'm followed blindly and it's far from back. Yeah. But in this case, I do agree more than agree with me. But yeah, I want to buy this, but I'm going to buy it at 1865, where that horizontal line is. Okay. Now you say, oh, that case, you want to buy there, I want to short it down there. Can you get a risk reward? We're in a bullish market. Will it pull back 10? We don't know that. Where are you going to put your stop? $5. Easy to get stopped out before you short it down. The risk is not worth the reward to short it. Rather wait for a pullback, to my opinion. This is it. It won't make it worth it. Oh, sure, you got no cost. No, not a problem. Even though not so good there, eh? For an hour. You might even that's not looking good for a short. But let's say it was. Aim for $3. Maybe a $1.50 stop, no costs involved, then we can talk. But as you say, the spreads ain't going to help you. And I could hear you with, unless you're prop trading and you work for the company, you've got some sort of spread, even if you found some overseas one with a tighter one. Well, so be it, but they're in business, you've got to have some spread. Okay. Okay, so that's a fair comment. Okay. I've looked at CHJPY. I wonder when for a pullback. I think I missed it. Hit the TP. That was one of ours. I pulled back a bit. I wanted to buy it again, but unfortunately, I think I might have missed it. Looked at right about this level here earlier on today. It's about an hour or so. In fact, it was an hour ago in that chart. Yeah. to buy it. And AIM brought up the strategy room this morning, 8:30ish, and it was 8:45, whatever it was. And no, I think it was 9 o'clock because we ran on a bit. But anyway, so we want to buy it. So we wait to get a try and get a better price. Well, looks like that's not occurred. It's jumped 40 pips, so we might have missed that. Pity. Or we can get maybe to go to a 4 hour, maybe a bit of confirmation. There's plenty of upside potential. It seems to be holding there because remember it was down there just now with a confirmation. I thought maybe if it took this guy out here, we got a confirmation. What's the distance up here? 15, going to crack it. You've got to aim there. If you're prepared to aim this level here and it coincides that high there, I'll put a high in there for you to see what I'm on about, guys. Got quite a few newer faces in there, so I'm not going too fast to understand what the hell I'm on about. And then can we get a stop just down here somewhere? Maybe a little bit wide. What's this distance here? 180, so we can go for about 100 pip stop. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We've got a bit of a break above there. For a long and E, we'll come to that. I think E is correct. But yeah, we hit the TP and there's possibly another trade now. Let's have a look at I'm doing the 4 hour one, let's look at the daily. It's looking okay. Don't like these, but I think it's upside. 1 hour seems to be okay. 15 seems to be okay. So what's the consensus? Do you want to dive in now, or do you think let's just see if we can get a better price? What do you reckon? But we can get an entry here with 100 pip stop, TP at the 144.66 level. Anyone like the look of this before we move on to the next one? Bit of a chicken there. Okay. Don't forget, this is all entirely up to you, your decision. I want to go back to 4 hours to do this. I want to stop here. Just below there. It's about 100 pips away, isn't it? Stop loss. What the hell's that? 142. Why haven't it shown that? Oh, because it's gone along yet, dick. Yeah, I'm going long. Right. Strange. I'll put it in anyway. What's it say? 141 point. Funny color that. 141 point. Make 141.80. Bit of a wide stop, but rather have that. Don't want to get stopped out. And then we're aiming at 144.66. Better. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so we're going to have to make a plan. There you are. That's quite a wide. I still want a slightly wider stop. Can we get it below 141.90? Just below the round figure. No. Don't want to take it higher than that. It's pity. Okay, we'll put it 141.20 then. Make it 10. I still want a wider stop. What the hell's this? Instant 143. That's what you mean there. No one, I got it wrong. That's better. Make it 142.20. Make it 142.10. I'll make mine up just now. Yeah, that'll work now. Okay. So there's your risk reward, 120 bucks a micro. Or what's that, about $7? Yeah, it's got some resistance there. It might pull back. Yeah. I think it's, I know that ship sells. It's shot 143, might pull back. As we're farting around there, it's jumped on 20 pips. That ship sell. I agree with you. That ship now sell. It's shot up 60 pips in the last hour or so. That's too much. Might get a pullback. We haven't, sorry guys, you missed it. Leave it. Get a better price. We'll come back to that. Don't want to chase it now. It's snooze you lose. That's why you got to move at it sometimes. Yeah. I remember once somebody tried to help me, big platform train, trying to help me place their order. And they're so laid back on it, by the time they worked it out how to block the ship would sell, so we had to laugh the trade off. So sometimes you're going to, sometimes quiet, sometimes you're going to move on it. Quickly, you can get your finger moving. I just say the tip is, if you like it, you work that in your volumes, get into the trade, and then add your SL and TP later on. You don't want to spend half an hour trying to put the SL and TP in. When you press the buy or sell button, the ship has sailed, you know? And that ship has sailed. Okay. Pity. Okay, AUDCHF. I think I had that down actually. Yes, I did. AUDCHF, one to come to. Yep, that one down. All right, we want to sell on this one, and I tend to agree with you. Yeah. I'm still nervous about selling the Swiss franc. Whatever happens, it goes up and down. You have days of weakness and strength in every degree, you know. But I'm always nervous of selling the Swiss franc. So in this case, we're buying it. So yeah, I think there's a chance of that coming. I've got it written down to come to actually just now, as a matter of fact, Jethro. Yeah, I like the look of this one. Let's have a look at it more depth. Yep, look at that. Sellers coming in daily. See them coming up from, guys? Sellers are coming in. This is 100 there. I put it on. One of you guys actually mentioned a good idea, and I totally agree with you, so I bumped it on there. 4 hour, coming off a bit. 1 hour. 15 minutes. Yeah, I think there could be some more downside here. Where I can put the stop. A little bit higher, maybe. Right back here. 850. We're going right back to about the 20th of September. That's what, 3.5 months ago, nearly 4 months ago. Take it down to really 18, at least 120. So that ain't going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. Yeah, that would cut it down here somewhere. Something like that. Then you'll definitely get it. But that ain't going to cut it. Unless you do a tighter stop, do it to there, maybe 50 pip stop. 70, no, you'd even have to do 40 pip stop. You'd have to do something like that. Now, I'd rather have a longer term TP and a wider stop bottom line. No. I mean, you've worked it out, and then you say, right, I'm going to go for it. You've worked it out. Then you put the volume in. Then you put then you press the buy or sell button, and then you put the S and TP in afterwards. You already worked it out, but now you've worked it out. You've got the position size calculator up. I'll make this clear what I mean by that. You know that. Right, now you're going to do the order. What's this one? AUDCHF. You worked it out. You can do 3. So you make sure you got 3 up there. And now you know you're going to sell it. Click on sell. And then afterwards, you modify by going in and putting your stop loss and your TP. You know what they are. Instead of just going and doing this. I'm going to go and I want to buy or sell it. I've got that right. Now I'm going to put this in. Now I'm going to put that in. By the time you've done it, it might have moved 20 pips. Depending on the movement of volatility. Just an idea I'm throwing out there. Okay. As long as we're all clear. So throw these ideas out and some of the misconstrued. But yeah, okay, do it short, long, or whatever, but I do see downside on this one. But if you want to do it now, remember, it's not a bad idea. So we go back to this date here. That's in September, somewhere on this level here. I'll put out the way of these guys. Last time here, 20th September, which is, 3.5 months ago, nearly 4 months ago. Okay, we'll put one up, see what you think. $92, make it 9, just let's say 92.60, just above there. And then the stop loss here, 64.60. See how that works out. I was wrong with this. Why is it? Excuse me. Not what the bloody thing is now. I might be better. 62.60. Why is that wrong? What keeps putting a 9 there? Was it my typing? 0.6260. Might be my typing. Sorry, guys. That's better. Yeah. There you are. You maybe slightly type a stop if you want. Not stop mean TP. Maybe to there. 62.80. That's probably better. Yeah, 62.80. That will be. Yeah, decent risk reward. Out the way, 115 micro is not an astronomical amount. It's not like a 300 pip, 300 rand a risk micro, What do you think? Oh, good stuff. I need that kind of feedback. That's all I ask, guys. Number one, they learn, and number two, they throw out some positive accolades. Yeah, throw money at me. I'm okay with that. Just accolades and you're learning. I'm trying to, quite frankly, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm trying to cut the BS because this market, YouTube and Facebook, hey, Alonso, is awash with it. Trying to cut some of the BS out. Probably getting older. Anyone's older than me, start getting tired of BS. It's one of the problems of getting older. So there we are. Go back to what Mochikor says. You worked out you can risk 250, so it'll be 0.02, and you know what your stop and TP is. So right, 0.02, bang it in, you got your short in, and you go back, modify, and you put in stop loss and TP afterwards, and you haven't missed out. Because already are we missing out? 5 minute. Yeah, because it was 115 just now. So yeah, you see my point. 64 looks like it might be holding. It's a nice round figure there. It seems to be holding at the moment. So what do you think of that for a good idea to start off our new year TR? Okay, fine, Jethro. Yeah, nothing wrong with YouTube. It just some good you can learn from everybody. Hey, it's all a BS, these guys stand up. I get adverts all the time. Look at me living in this mansion, etc. Well, why don't I tell me about it? Okay, well, that's two. That's good. I'll explain the rules. We got this. Call it 0.63. What are we doing here? AUD CHF. That was. I'm going to put Jethro down. This is, well, I got it written down. To be fair, but he did come up with it, so I'll put it down as Jethro. So I'm going to share it with me if it comes right. How's that? 0.63. Sorry, 64. Beg your pardon. 0.6460 and 0.6280. What's it? 122. It's about $7, isn't it? Yeah, 7,120. Risk. Right. The rules are, guys, two or more people like it other than myself. We put it down as a trading idea, see how it works out. And if it's Jordan and George, I put it down George. It's my idea. I leave it blank. It's just a bit of fun. We had a bit of competition and fun to it. Remember the days we used to have a battle between the sexes, and we gave that up because women were taking out the men. So we got our egos got knocked. So we took that out, but maybe we can put it back in again. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. Had a bit of fun, a bit of banter into it. And these three looks like an interesting picture up there, Father Brown or whatever. We'll come to Brent in a minute. We'll come to Brent in a minute for it. Oh, Farney's in. Okay. Right. I also quite like this one. So I'm sorry, guys. Just going to have to be patient. I quite like it. So I'm going to send it out. So just give me a moment while I do that. Just be patient with me because the other guys on the group need it. Where are we now? Just going to send head office, make sure they're happy. Well, I'm the qualified one, but anyway, do the way the admin guys like it. Trade. Yeah. I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay. See what happens there. Okay, I just need to write that down. I've done that. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. Okay, right. So where are we? Like Zef likes it. Zef likes it. Comes all in there. Brent and US dollars, Swiss franc. We've already got that going. Petra, I presume you're in it still. Carry on being in it. I see dollar weakness coming through. I see more downside. If dollar weakness didn't come through and against one of the stronger currencies, I see more downside there. I'm assuming you're still in it. If you're not, just let me know and have a look at it again. Right, I just want to look at, sorry, I lost that one, which was it again? Brent. I want Brent for a buy, but I want a better price. There's another one I've got written down, discuss with you guys. I want to get it round about this sort of level here, maybe 78 bucks. I wonder if we're going to get it. We talked earlier on the day, it was about 79.50. Should he buy there? He said maybe wait for a better price. Might have missed it. It's a bit of resistance now. It might pull back. See that? It might pull back on the daily to get it back down here. It might even get 78.50, even maybe 79. Right about 78.50, somewhere like that. We might get a buy on that one. I'm looking for a buy on it, but I just want to get a slightly better price. If you like it, you can do your risk reward. You've all got the calculator now. If you haven't, go to the live chat, go to technical support, and have it on your computer. Okay. Just a second. It's okay to signal, just certainly going to send it out. Give me a moment. Well, I'm going to send it for that. This is for the members on the group, remember I mentioned? Be patient, guys. You need it to trading anyway. Okay, see how those go. Right. Okay, done that. Right. Brent, so I think just wait for a pullback on Brent. Next one was the USD CHF. Just say we had to trade out. Some guys might still be in it. That's you modified your stop. Nobody should have lost on that trade, bottom line. If you're still in it with a modified stop, that's fine, hold. Is it more downside? Yes, I think so. So you can hold, but modify your stop in case you get a bounce, got a bit of a resistance there, technically speaking. Do I want to chase it now? No, I don't. Do you want to re-enter it? No, I don't. If it breaks down further, sort of the weekly, we've got plenty of downside to aim at, no problem there. Rather wait for a break of the support there, or the resistance to be going short, or maybe a bounce back up to maybe 92.70. Now, if it goes back up to maybe 92.70, it's only 40 pips away. We can look at sending it down for another trade. Yeah. Well, we got it. I would say the ship sailed on that one. We got a trade in. I can't remember. It's 3rd of Jan. That's what 6 days ago. Shortly at 93.65. So clearly it's 130, nearly 140 pips in profit. What a pleasure. Guys have either modified, stopped out, or taken their profit. There might be some guys still in there. And I think it's a good chance of breakthrough fun. To trade it now, no. I think rather wait for a better price or a breakthrough. Hope that all makes sense. So the guys would have had that trade anyway if they're on the WhatsApp group. Okay. So Petra, come back, Pietro, if I get pronunciation right. I would say no. I would wait for a breakthrough or wait for a better price. Yeah, although it's looking like it could get. I think it might get a bounce. So get a bounce, we'll set it down. Okay, I hope that's okay with you. Happy with that, guys. Good. Got a couple more traders, and we have a moment or two to chit chat for new guys there. What it's all about? They're probably getting a bit confused. Euro GBP was another one. Looking at for this one, I thought this might have a possibility of a buy. Okay. It seems to be my problem with it. It's going to be a fairly aggressive short-term one because we're going to go about 80 pip meat on the bones on that one. So you've got to do a fairly tight stop, maybe a bit tighter than that, maybe that thing. Maybe, yeah, maybe around there somewhere. Maybe a 40-odd pip stop, TP about 80 pips. If it breaks the round figure of 88 on the chart there, I think there might be some upside. I think the euro is at the moment a little bit stronger than the pound. Pound's got UK's got quite a few issues, so does euro, but there seems to be more hawkish at the moment. Anything? There's nothing today on the economic front, fundamentally speaking. But the Fed Powell is speaking tomorrow, 4 o'clock. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And CPI Thursday. Remember the fun and games we had last month on that? CPI is coming out Thursday. Reminder of that. Okay. Good. You're picking stuff up. Are you happy with that? So yeah, that's fine. So Euro GBP. Anyone else say aggressive type trade, 80 pip TP, 40 pip stop on it? Anyone like the possibility of that, or give it a miss? Look at the 4-1 in the meantime. Seems to be hovering to hold that. Look at the 1 hour and see more clarity there. Maybe a bit clarity like that. And then on the weekly, seem to be holding a few sellers or buyers. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a possibility of that one. Right. Anyone like to look at this or what? Remember, this is a more aggressive one. Smaller stops tied to TP. And because it's more aggressive, just make sure you get your volumes correct in case it doesn't work out. You should do that every bloody time, actually. You don't want people crying, oh, it went wrong, I lost all my money. Well, you shouldn't lose all your money in one trade. You know, that's why you have a risk calculator. Anything can happen in this market, as you know. All right, stop loss, we make it 45 pips away. What's 45? Well, 88.55. Okay. And the TP, we can make it up to here, 88.70. That's something what I mean. That's wrong. Why is that there? 50 pips away. Sorry, bloody thing. All this calculator's putting his own figures in. What's 50 pips from there? 45 here. 87.50, like I said. Who's you told? That's better. No, it's not going to work. Slightly tighter. Squeeze it there. I don't want any tighter than that. Okay, 90 bucks is your risk. Not a bad one. Okay. What do you think, Gerard? And anybody else? Yeah. No problem, Pete. You guys see what they're doing. I'm putting out like a forum, discuss. Some guys like it. Some got higher risk profile, low risk profile. Some will leave alone. Some will even want to short it. That's the whole thing. We've done AZEF, done a couple of those. Some guys think it's a buy, some are short. We put them both down, see how it works out. The idea is really getting people to start to think for themselves, not following signals blindly, which is completely natural. I get that when you start. You've got to have some focus. But the sooner you can sort of pick up where we're getting it from the trader and the strategies and ideas where the thing behind it, you start seeing things for yourself. You don't want to be completely led, you want to be able to fish for yourself. Okay. You want to leave it. So we don't want, okay. So 1.6, you're out. So nobody wants to do this one. Should we leave this one then? I need two people. Give it a few moments. Two people do it, just put in yes. You know, don't have to do any more than that. It doesn't take long to type on a yes. If you don't want to do it, I'll move on. It won't take all day because I've got some stuff to go through. It's not clear. Okay, fair enough then. We'll leave it. Got enough excitement on that. Leave it, happy with that. Thanks, guys. You've got to join in. Very, very important. Sitting there, not joining or waiting half an hour for a client holds everybody up. You need to be on it. You know, like Jethro said, he missed a couple of trades while he was away, but you need to be on it, otherwise you're going to miss. Okay. I think euro-dollar was talked about. I'm not sure I want to buy it here. I remember the dollar, I'm looking to sell the dollar, so we'll be buying this one. I like to buy it, but I think maybe a pullback. I'm a little bit nervous to sell these levels. I probably buy at these levels, so I'll leave it. Thanks, Mel. Okay, so euro-dollar. Anything else I've got written down here, which I had this morning? GBP CHF. Remember, as I'm doing this, afternoons, we look at everything else, but we can also look at shares. Shares, remember, open at 4:30, so we can look at shares this afternoon if we can see anything. I was looking here at a short on this one. Was there a problem? I think I remember was some sort of problem the 4 hour. No, it's breaking through. It's okay. I was looking for a short on this one, buying the Swissy and selling the pound. What I've got here is the 200, the 50, and 100-day moving average. It's below all of them. So me, that's on a sell zone. It's held on the 100, held on the 100, held on the 1. You get the idea. Okay, so we can put a stop up here. A little bit high. Can we reach there? It's a bit high up there. So maybe we can put a little bit lower. Maybe there. Maybe a little bit lower. Maybe a bit lower. Maybe around about that level. You know, about a 100 pip stop. The problem is we do that. We need at least 180 something down there. Is that going to work? No, it's not. I don't want to TP wider than that. So we're going to have to do tighter stop. We could probably squeeze it there. Just put it up so you can squeeze it there. Don't like it, we'll move on. $1.1280. $1.1180. Was try to stop. No, can't get the risk reward. I don't want to take a TP further than that. Show you why. Might squeeze it down. We're pushing a little bit. Yeah, might squeeze it to here. Might squeeze it there, but you're pushing it a bit. Yeah. I don't like to look at this. I'll come to the NAS in a minute. I'll come to the dollar around in a minute. Yeah. What do you think? Okay, a couple of guys come up with us, leave it alone. Anyone will do this, or should we move on? Come on, guys, need to move on this. Tap, tap, tap. Doesn't take 10 seconds to say yes or no. Leave it alone, that's fine. Some new guys, the guys on, move on. Okay. Need to move on. Somebody just sit there glaring it, not pressing anything. I don't know if I like it or not. You've got to get involved. Otherwise, we don't know, you know, nothing's obviously. Right, where were we? Yes, all I've got really to discuss this. We've got one out. Something else you want to look at before we go to other stuff? Dollar rand. Anything else? Dollar rand. Okay. Right. Dollar rand. Remember, if you're going to do the dollar rand, two things. It's an exotic. It's not a cross or a major. So it attracts a higher deposit, a much higher deposit. So you need at least 2 or 3 grand in your account to do it. And number two, it's about a 20 pip, something like that is your cost. Always brokers on exotics have much wider spreads or higher costs because it's exotic. So if you have the money and understand that, fine. If you don't understand that, a couple more lessons, come to TR more often, get the idea. We don't want people going to trades completely, utterly clueless. They don't understand anything about it. That's where damage is done. Use the people who can least afford it. Paying little money, little knowledge, and it's fighting. We don't want that. Okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to know it's an exotic. You got to know what that means. You need a couple of classes or whatever. Right. Having said that, interesting. A lot of guys think we could pull back to 1650. I'm not so sure on that. I think from the fundamental base of Eskom ongoing trials and tribulations, Moody getting very nervous, what do you call it? The Moody, S&P, and Fitch that pull out the junk bonds. That's again. Mine's going a bit. Anyway, the bottom line is they've got a strong eye. It might nurse a little bit more. So that's a bit weak for the rand. The dollar's a bit weak, which is giving it a sort of artificial strength on the rand. I'm not sure it's going to be getting back to 1650, but it could pull back a little bit further. I would rather, instead of selling it, I'd rather buy the dollar, even though I'm saying dollar's weak, because I think the rand's even weaker, to be honest. I'd rather buy the pullback. So it looks like pullback around about 17 to buy. You might get 1680 out of it. You might get lucky there. But whether you buy it now or a pullback, that's up to you. But please, small funds, not understanding, you've got much higher margins and higher costs involved. You're not sure about it, don't start your trading journey with this one. Okay. Anybody there feel like they'd like to do this? I know for a fact trading before, so no problem. Yeah, XOM is what you call it? Exxon. It's an oil company, which means the CFD share. CFD share means owned Homes Harbours 4. So we'll discuss it at 4 o'clock. But I think it's a good possibility. I like it. I think could some oil could go up a bit, should take it up with it. We can't enter it now, so might as well look at it at 4. You can leave it alone. Okay. So the dollar rand, if you want to do it your own, do whatever. We're leaving it alone, but it's up to you what you want to do. Even you, those who want to do it, can do it. Occidental. What's the other one? Mix them two up. The Exxon is this one here. Where is it? XOM. Was it XOM? Exxon. Yeah, that's Exxon. Sorry. Yeah, that one we'll look at later on. Okay, but I think it's possibly an upside. All right. Thanks very much. 4:30 p.m. Look at that. That's 4 o'clock. Sure. XAU USD. Rather stick to the Meta 5 name. That confuses people. So this will be gold. Some other platforms have the XAU USD because they trade gold against the euro and the pound as well as the dollar. We don't. We only have it on one against the dollar, so we call it straight gold. Gold is it coming off? Not enough for me to buy. I want to buy it. I want to buy it around about 1865. You're going against a strong upward trend if you sell it, and how far it's going to pull back. Strong suggest rather wait for a pullback and see if we can get it at a decent price. It's hovering around here and it's easing back a little bit. You might get a slightly better price. Euro dollar we've already discussed, leave it too high. Wait for a pullback. I'm not sure about selling it. Wait for a pullback. You mentioned that earlier on. Okay, what's the dollar doing? Let's look. Yeah, it's still weakening. So rather wait for a pullback we can before buying. Now, I mentioned the DXY. That is the very important chart for you. A lot of you guys there might not have it, so I'm going to copy for you. I want you to save it. We talked extensively about the DXY. That is the dollar index made up of 6 currencies. You need to have that. The other one is the economic fundamentals. Very important as well. You need to know that, vital, in fact, more than very important. You'll be jumping into before the CPI is coming out. And it could go the wrong way. It could go the right, might get lucky, but it's not what you want. You want to go in with knowledge, not worry about getting lucky. Okay, Jethro, great to have you back. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, you won't be with us for fair enough, other stuff to do. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Great stuff. Okay, so those you can copy and paste, keep an eye on. Once economic fundamentals, you can play around, you can alter the filters. You can get economic fundamentals a lot of places, but often get so many of them, you don't know what's going on. This one I've filtered down to I think are very important ones. And you can see that Powell's speaking tomorrow, CPI in America, all that sort of thing. So keep it and keep the other two, keep it, copy, paste it, do, you know, keep it handy. Please, just working on this. There's too many guys, I don't know, flicking a coin and trading. That's their trading strategy. It's not going to work for you. So that's extra important stuff. Okay. Thanks, Vio. Yeah, okay. So we've got another half hour to go over stuff. Number one, you've got to have a risk calculator. Number two, keep your charts set up where you can understand them. Don't what's it called, clutter them so you know what's going on. Got to obviously know the trading platform, how to operate it. If you can't operate the platform, you're wasting your time, never mind ours. You've got to know how to place a signal. You need the what I've just copied and pasted. Right? You need a laptop. Trying to trade off a phone, you're wasting your time. It's just too limiting. It's like trying to be a rep on the road with a bicycle. You need a motor car. You know what I mean? You need the tools to do the job. So if you can't afford a laptop, you can't afford a trade. Bottom line, you need a bit of capital. You need to do this properly. It's grinding around with broken phones, no knowledge, and sod all money. It's getting the little money you got. It's not going to work for you. It's going to backfire. So do this properly, and you should come out. Don't go to school. You're not going to get your medical or your legal degree. Like everything else, nothing for nothing. Bit of effort, you should come right. And we'll try to help you in the trading room. Okay. No, we'll be going along with it. It might bounce. I'm looking for shorting it. Sell the rally there, Lorenzo. Okay, so I hope all you guys knew there. I hope you've all got the DXY and the economic calendar. Refer to it. We're only jumping in fine before a major one comes out. Still not sure. Come to the trading room. It'll take a while to get the hang of it. I'm not going to learn this in a short period of time. Anybody said otherwise, trust me, it's BSing you. It takes a bit of time to learn. Okay. Right, NASDAQ. I'll do Lorenzo first and tell you why I'm saying that, Lorenzo. You're seeing it's come down this far, but at the moment, the dollar's weak. DXY, DXY, is still pretty weak. Swiss franc is one of the strong counts at the moment. Rather sell the breakthrough or sell the rally. How far is the rally? Maybe you can get it up to, it's only about 40, 50 pips. To me, to buy there, hopefully a 50 pip scalp, I think it's a bit on the risky side. I'd rather sell the rally. That's my personal feeling. Okay. There will be probably a little bit of a bounce, a profit-taking bounce. But how many people are going to be profit-taking? I'm going to hold on. What's the extent of the bounce? I don't know. So rather wait till it's got rid of all the profit takers and then sell it down, or a breakthrough if you don't get it. Okay, that's my take. Good enough. Happy with that. As long as you're happy, that's the main thing. If you disagree, I like to hear it. As long as it's backed up with some good, valuable reasons. And I thought, oh yeah, you got a point there. Thanks very much. That's why, forget our egos. We're all learning here. Right. Okay. The NASDAQ. As mentioned, I say every time, we've got new guys coming all the time. Do not touch the NASDAQ to the until about 5K in your account. The NASDAQ is so volatile, especially on upwards floor opening, that if you've got anything less than a 200 pip stop loss, even going the right way, the noise can knock you out, and then it goes the right way, you're not on board. Now, a 200 pip stop loss is in the region of about 350 Rand. 350 Rand a micro, we're talking 5 grand to build a risk 350. Always reckon percentages. 350 doesn't sound a big figure, but it's a decent sized percentage of 5,000 Rand. Remember, 10% is 5 grand, so it's about 7-8%. That's the international norm is 2% of capital. 7-8 is above that. So if you go in with 3 grand or 2 grand into the NASDAQ, you're going to get margin call unless you get lucky. And you get lucky this time, you get margin call the next time. It is too fast, it's too volatile for small accounts. And especially the risk of guys on highly leveraged accounts without understanding what they're even in leverage or what leverage means. And they're going in with 500, 600, 800 Rand their account, not only going to one, they're getting 2 or 3 micros. It has to blip against you and your margin call. Or worse, it jumps on opening at 4:30, not opening, but when the American markets are at 4:30, maybe 20 pips. That's called slippage. And then suddenly you owe the company money because it's taken out your entire 6-7 of the balance. Now you owe up 200 Rand and you don't know why. You're trading without having a clue what you're doing. I'm going to be horribly honest with you. And that's why you're losing. You've got to understand the maths and what's going on here. So you start step 1. This is not for step 1, guys. You need the understanding of it and the volatility of it. And you need to have at least some funds in your account. Because it's sexy, it's not good enough. Don't do it in small accounts. Thank you, Lorenzo. Thank you for the backup there. And Lorenzo's done it. It's not just me waffling on here. Do it for your sake. You know? There you are. This is too fast a car. You just 17, just passed your driving test. You don't start screaming off at maximum speed in a Ferrari. No, you don't. You wait till you got a bit of experience and some capital. Okay. Yeah. It's not to be played with unless you're really on top of it. There's so many people playing it seems like a good idea. They're not strategized, they're not trading, they're gambling and they're not sure why, where, or what. You'd be surprised how many people are in this. And I talk about, you're in a derivative leverage account. What's that? That's vital to know that. Do you know they're called equity high risk? That is pretty low risk compared to this. This is speculation, it's not investing, very high risk. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as you understand that. There's too many people ill-equipped. We want to get them equipped to understand it. And then they'll start doing okay. And get rid of this something for nothing attitude, I beg of you. I'll be a billionaire next week. No, you won't. Okay. WTI. Yeah, I see the upside, but it's right in resistance there. Like Brent, oil, pull back. I'd say 74. If we get 74, buy it. Things about 78 on Brent and 74 on WTI. Buy it. I'm looking to buy it, Anna Marie, but I'm not sure we're buying it now. Might miss it, but I'm not going to buy it now. I think the odds are better to pull back a bit. Happy with that. Good enough. Okay, we cover most of it. We've got AUD, CHF, CHF JPY. If we do that, does that come back? Because I'd like to get that, but looks like we might have missed it. Yeah, we missed it. Bugger it. I nearly pushed hard at 142.40, make life even worse this morning. Only a couple of hours ago, thought we'd wait for a pullback, and yeah, anyway, you just say afterwards. Could have been right to wait. This time we were wrong. Can't chase it now. So maybe we'll get a pullback. Watch it. We can come back. We'll buy this, but it's got to come back about 60 pips, or else, in fact, 80 pips. Yeah, it's jumped 80 pips. Bucker it. What a pity. Let's see for a seller. What's the Dow doing? Up a little flat. What's the NAS doing? Remember, these markets tend to follow the Americans. Everyone follows the Americans. Yeah, looking like it's looking good. I'm still in the rally, looking like be good there. So I tend to be looking, I'm rather like, who came up with this? Red, you've been trading before. You seem to come up with some stuff you come up with seem to be quite advanced for a beginner. Have you been trading for a while? Yeah, definitely don't ask beginners questions. I quite like this. Yeah, I like it very much, actually. Yeah, like it. In fact, look at it, I like it. Yeah. Okay, well, I hope you're getting burnt a little bit less now. I hope you're just getting hot fingers instead of burnt fingers now. Yeah, it makes sense. You usually tell the guy asks that question. So I'm just starting, ask a question. Well, the guy just starts a bit sort of in depth. Okay, it makes sense. Yeah, this one, I like this one. Just want to mention, guys, the company style, we're not selling like indices as trading ideas on the club, you know, the WhatsApp group, you know. A lot of guys on there, whatever. It's just we're not going to do indices, just for the trading room. So it'll be a trading room idea, and I have to say I like it. Yeah, it's overcooked. I think it's had a big jump on Farms Help. I think that's going to run out of steam. So they're coming in. I agree. I think that's running out of steam. Let's get this out of the way. And yeah, I think it's a good chance that's going to come off. That's starting to run out of steam. Yeah, I like it. Okay, right. Okay, what's the costs on this? You can do it higher. You tend to attract bigger costs on this, don't forget. Spread looks about 10 on there, but often in reality it's nearer 14, 15. So the costs are higher on indices. Bear that in mind. But I do like it. Let's see if we get a stop loss on the weekly. Let's just scrunch it a bit more. Yeah. Nice bit of resistance there. Good. Before we get this out of the way, so that'd be quite nice. Where can we take it down to? That's perfect. Where's that? 7558. And we'll make it 0.5. Maybe it's around 7A, I should do it. Yeah, maybe around 7.8. If you feel that's a bit close, you can always widen the stop. We've got and widen the TP if you want. But I have to say I quite like it. But again, the higher costs involved here. I suggest if you're a complete beginner, do the paper trade rather than jump into it quick, because it's an indices, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, I agree with you, Brady. So anybody like the FTSE as a short? Don't get excited about the technicals and the buy zone. This sudden Russian jump on the world markets is short-lived. Yeah, a couple of people like it. Right. Okay. I got that down. So those who like it, yeah. Remember, people might say, "Oh, hang on a minute, let's get this out of the way. Hang on a minute, it's in the buy zone, looking pretty strong. Yeah, these world markets are overcooked. That's just a bounce. Look at the NAS. I think the NAS is going to come off as well, by the way. Well, we'll talk about frightened guys going into it. That's another one. I see downside there. What's the 200 pips there? You want to stop at 200? Yeah, maybe a little bit wider. Maybe put the stop a little bit wider. I'll put this guy's here, somewhere there, and take it down here somewhere. I think it's got a chance of 10.5 coming in. But yeah, so that again, you're looking at least something like about 400 a micro risk. Don't forget, but I think it's a good chance of pulling back there. So that's another one. Okay, somebody wrote something down there, so I'm going to check it out. Give me a moment. Sorry. I'll be a billionaire next week, so that kind of overnight. Just wanted to know, get there, Forex Butcher, humbly answer me, Sandili is the youngest millionaire in the section. Yeah, remember, there's always somebody does it, which is great, but somebody's won the lottery, which is also great. But remember, there are a lot of people who did not win the lottery. So nothing wrong with setting goals and being optimistic and positive and all the rest of it. But realism's got to be realistic. And some of those guys who do that often put the work in, put the money in, put the time in, and I'll be honest, some are just naturally brilliant. And I hate to say it, and throw quite a large juice of luck. Some guys got, some guys are just lucky, they'll throw a dart, it hits the ball, and you throw a dart and miss the dartboard job. Just be realistic. There's too many people prancing around, making all sorts of wide statements, but how much is huff and puff and how much is backed up? Stop loss and TP, yeah, sure. Write down for you. Not with the risk rewards in it. I didn't write that down. I'm not sending it out. Working the base, it's about working the base about 160 bucks. 150, 160 around a micro, something like that. I forgot about that. That's the trade we got out. Okay. So yeah, guys, just going back, this billionaire talk, don't take a lot of notes, it's BS. Okay, AUD CHF. Back where we started, okay. 15 minutes. Well, I'd look at the 15 minutes. It moving. I usually use an hour for confirmation. Something. It depends how I feel at the time. A lot of things. I don't trade off it. I trade off a strategy for a daily. Some people use 4 hour. 4 hour a day. Some people weekly, but I do the daily. Work out. Looks good, and I'll check maybe the weekly. Sometimes the monthly for target. 4 hour. Any problems in the 4 hour, 1 hour, or whatever. So yeah, that's it. So the 15 minutes just to see if it's moving or not. Yeah, okay, fine, yeah. You'd be surprised how much work some of these big shots put in. You see them on Instagram or Facebook smiling. They're not standing in front of their fancy car about to get onto the jet. They're jumping out of the car, rushing the jet because getting it open their computer and start issuing instructions stuff. They don't even know the flight. They're not even sitting back enjoying their PIMS #1 as they're relaxing the leather seats. No, they're hard at it working. Those things you see on there are selling the dream, not reality. Reality, unfortunately, is Churchill said, blood, sweat, and tears, I'm afraid. Boring, I know, I don't spoil the dream, but you've got to have a dream, have a goal, but you have to be realistic. Okay. Guys, I see you following through quite well. I'm a newbie. Are you part of the college? I'm going to guess what you mean by that, because it's not exactly clear. Just a couple of companies involved here. The stock market college sells educational packages. Guys who do that, we call them intermediaries, part of the phase legal areas. Financial advice intermediary services. They are not constricted by any regulations. If you're part of the advice, which I am, you're constricted by regs. You've got to pass certain exams and you're going to be registered with the Financial Service Conduct Authority, FSCA, and then, until that's done, then you can offer trading advice. So the account manager can help you open your accounts and sell you stuff or whatever, but they cannot advise you, not allowed to. You can say, what do you think of AUD should buy or sell it? They'll have to pass it on to me, because they're not allowed to do it. They're part of the intermediate, not qualified, basically. So advice, I'm licensed to give it. And that a lot of guys out there, we call them cowboy outfits, to be honest. I know for a fact are not properly registered or affiliated FSCA, etc. And they're offering advice. If they get caught with it, they can get some problems going. You've got to be regulated. Okay, otherwise you go to the ombudsman and they start coming down on you, lose the license, and be quite upfront on that. It's quite getting stricter, because it's people's money, and without any form of legal ramifications, you know, it's very important. So yeah, so then you get Quick Trade, and to give advice, like I say, I work for Quick Trade, not FMC. I work for Quick Trade, and that's the broker, and I'm licensed. Then you get a third company. That third company is MetaTrader 5. That is a British company, international now, and that's the platform we, amongst a lot of brokers, use. So Quick Trade, amongst others, use it. Some use MT4. We have MT5. Okay, and then those are the three companies involved. Okay. Yeah, we have. I'll put it down. Pete, yeah. 77.10 is a sell. Okay. 78 stop loss. 7558. Yeah, this is it. What they do, and I'm pretty sure, let's be honest, it's been some of mine. They might open an account here, say, right, I'll get on there to get the free signals. They don't even trade it. I'm not pretty sure what goes on. You can't really do anything about it. Then they go out to their mates who know less. Now, they're all working with people who know less, unsophisticated, basically, feel no pain or moral pain whatsoever, the poor guys, and they've got least to learn. They're probably a lot of them desperate, trying to make a quick buck, which when you know you're battling, you want a quick buck. And they'll do that, and they're paying all sorts of money for it. And it's pitched, and it shouldn't really be doing anyway. But the point is, then they're paying money and haven't got enough money to make use of it. Example, let's say you got 2,000 rand. If you're buying signals, you have to have them just about 100% right to justify the money you're going to make on 2 grand to pay for it. So on 2 grand, if you make 50% a year, that's good return. 2 grand, 50% 2 grand, 1,000 a year. You are that, but that's 5 rand a day. 5 rand a day, or 150 rand a month. No, sorry, 100 rand a month. Is it going to pay for the signals? Even if you make 50% on them, which is not guaranteed you will. They haven't done the basic maths, and it's not good. And this, unfortunately, it's the bad boys. They give the whole industry a bad name. That's why I'm trying to clean it up with having some sort of moral standard here. Basically, a bit of trust. Put me right. So just put that. Okay, that's correct. Yeah, they've opened up. I think I mentioned earlier on. They moved up markets. Hong Kong is a big player, because remember that's where their financial area is, well, one of them anyway. Shanghai, of course, we get that. But now the border being moved up from Hong Kong. It's a lot of big players coming back into it. They're buying up gold as well, so you're quite right now. And that's why I see a little bit of a weaker dollar coming, and maybe a little bit of Chinese strength coming as well. Okay, God, up to you, mate. Up to you. Up to you. That thing. Remember, Qatar, if that's pronounced properly, has got large gas reserves which they release. is one of the reasons why NGAS has come off. Okay, because more supply has been added to the market out there. Okay, so yeah, it's been overcooked since the 5, then 4, and it's been overcooked. It's still coming off. It's up to you. If you want to do it, Gerard, go for it. I think just leave it alone. Yeah, Pam, it's stopped for the moment. We're getting more overseas now that there's a company, and we've got to put a few other things together on that. So we'll have more details on that probably later in the month. So if I get more solid details on it, on that from head office, then we can discuss it more in the trade room. At the moment, I think just sit tight on that. I need to read more regulations on it. Too many guys train other people to be half that clue what they're doing. So just sit back on that till we get more updates on what's going on, where people trade on your behalf. You've got to have a Cat 2 license if you don't overseas, and so that's why they can do it. So you haven't got the regulations basically, but that's not a problem for doing it properly. You know what I mean? So okay, fine, Lorenzo. So I say just sit tight for the moment. When I got more updates on that, and you're in the trade room, I'll mention on asking. So just sit tight on that for the moment. Okay. All right, just want to read some stuff here just before we go on. What's the time? A few minutes more to finish on. These important questions are asking. Get a lot there, so I'm going to cover that. Right, it's not full time. It's not part time. Trade in the evenings and put in the mornings if you're able to make 50%. No, I agree with 50%. But a lot of say, well, I made 50% this week. I'm going to do it. No, make it maybe if you're consistent over a period, maybe 6 months or more, even maybe even longer, consistently. I mean, 41, 70 another. I don't know. You look back in 60 months, you've averaged a profit each month, and you've taken it all up, and you work at 50%. Then you can look at it. Okay. But you need to not say I've had a lucky month, that's enough, because I want to do it. You've got to know you're taking the stress, because once stress comes in, you haven't got any other source of income coming in whatsoever. The stress level is going to go up, and that's when you start making emotional mistakes. Be careful of it. And you need the capital. You don't, if you're stressed, you start over trading because you need to pay the rent, you haven't got the capital. And you have the same problem. Now you've got less capital because you're taking a couple of losses and you panic. And now you've got less capital to work with. You need to be working with your mind, not with your stress levels high. And your stress levels high, if you go in without knowing fully what you're doing, a bit of experience. I know from my own experience, you know, you need the knowledge, you need the right equipment, preferably a monitor as well. You need the time spent on it. You need a couple of publications, updates. You need, you know, keep an eye on Bloomberg and what's happening around the world, fundamentals. And then you've got to say, I need the capital. You mustn't say, I've got to make 50% because I need 10 grand a month and I've got to make 50% to achieve it. And then I'm stressed if I don't. In other words, you've got to say, put the money in and then put more in. So you've had a bad run, you're okay. So you've got money carried through the bad month. And then you have a good month, don't go and suddenly buy a new car, keep it back for the bad month. There's a lot of discipline and patience coming. But if you're saying, but the best way to look at it is this. Thanks very much, Brady. Yeah. So going back to, yeah. So if you're working on 50%, remember to get 50%, you've got to know what you're doing. You won't do that as a starter. You've got to know that takes some experience. But once you come to trade room, you know what you're doing, you put the hard line in, hard yards in, and you say, yeah, consistently, I'm making 50%. You've got your life ahead of you. You don't have to do it in the next 6 minutes. And you got a bit of a track record, it's looking good. Then you go, how much do you need? Well, you got to know how much you need to make out. You say, right, what do I need per month? I've got rent to pay or bond to pay, the car to pay, blah, blah, blah. And then I need food, and I need to have some fun, I need to have spending money and petrol money and insurance, you know, all that, got to add it all up. And say you can sing, never mind with your wife and kids, that's more expensive. Let's say you're single and with expense and everything, you feel you can live reasonably well on, let's say, 20,000 rand a month. Right. This is quite simple. Right. Pommy and whoever listen to this, 20 grand. Okay, Gerard, you'll know all this. These guys are still there. 20 grand a month, right? Now, what's 20 grand a month? You multiply by 12. You need to get to annual. 20 times 12 is 240. Call it 250,000. So 20 grand a month, you need 250,000 a year. If you can make 50% per year, you need £500,000. I still say you put yourself under pressure. You need more than that to get the bad and the good. So I'd say to play safe, only with any experience of the track record I might add, probably work about 750,000 grand, and then you can make 20 grand a month. And then you've got enough money just in case you have a bad month. That's the sort of ways, plus the experience, you know what you're doing. That's what you should be aiming at to do it full time. Okay, so if you want to make 20 grand a month, look around about those. But don't come up and say, I've got 30 grand saved and I'm going to make 20 grand a month. Is this possible? I'll be polite, but I think, did you do maths at school? Because you know what I mean? Why are people building Amazon and Apple if they can make those kind of returns? You know, so just to work out the maths. And if you can't work out the maths, you can't work that out. The chance you even with 750,000 rand being successful are fairly small. So you need discipline, patience, the right tools, and you need, as I say, the capital, and you need a bit of a track record before you even think of it. So 20 grand, 750, 1.5 million, 40 grand, etc. And you've got to be disciplined for good months. You get good months. You think, bloody hell, this is all right. Discipline. Don't spend it all. You know what I mean? Like a salesman. He makes 50 grand his first month's sales. He goes and buys a smart car. It's a crap month. Now and then they take the car back off him. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. But you see, there's too much of this something for nothing being pumped out there. I'm trying to get the guys to put their feet on the ground. There's such thing as something for nothing. You know, the thing is, people don't want to give anything. They just want to take. You know, I want to put squat in, to do squat, make no effort, and I want something in return. And it's those guys, unfortunately, the ones who usually end up, and they can least afford to get nailed. And they need the skills on top, exactly. So there's no good saying, I've got them in, I'm banging to make that money. You know, you just lose more than everybody else. You still need the skills, the track record, the discipline, the patience. This is a bit like anything else. Some guys, most guys fail in business. It's the way it is, because they haven't got the right understanding or attitude. They're going in with a half-hearted, something for nothing, don't make an effort. You'd be surprised how these millionaires, the effort and time and money and hours they put in, studying and God knows what. It's just, I'm sorry, that's the way to become a proper, is something for nothing. And it's ramp over here. Due to lack of knowledge, lack of education, lack of anything, you know, and then they suddenly want to get the returns or something. It's a pity because it hurts to see it. Just keep your feet on the ground, get there, but just think a little bit. And once you feel something for nothing coming in, take a step back. And if you get some advert, promise you something for nothing, why are they spending their money on advert to help you out as a stranger? They're making the money from you putting it in. That's where they're making their money from. It's your money they're making it from. Okay, stick with the trade room, stick with it, put the hard yards in, build up, add funds to it, go for the trade ideas, get your position size right, because you can get bad ones as well as good, and then modify stop losses, protect, and after a while, might take a while, it comes into place, and then you'll be away. Okay, and you've got to stick with it. Okay, if you don't like what you're hearing, you suddenly want to move off somewhere else to find someone who's going to tell you what you want to hear. Well, good luck. This has been years of hard work experience and you let down myself coming into it. I don't want you to give the same route. Okay. Let's get some integrity going here. Hey. Good. Okay. All right, guys, it's approaching 11 o'clock. Those can make it 4 o'clock. Great stuff. Those in you will not learn it in 5 minutes. Stick with it. If it seems a bit overwhelming at first, stick with it, it'll become underwhelming. After a while, it will fall into place. Just remember, you've got to know what a standard line is, you've got to know what leverage is, you've got to know what margin is. If you want to know what margin is, left click, right click, left click on specification. It gives the margin. What's leverage? Divide the margin or deposit into 100, will give you a leverage. You've got to see the contract size is 10. You've got to understand these sort of things, what it implies, the risks involved. Equity management is vital. Those bits and pieces will hammer on and hammer on, hammer on. Second nature. Strategy is not thumbs up. And then, hey, you start. Listen to the guys who just left, like Jethro and Farney and the other guys who trained for a little bit, and say Brady, etc. They've gone through experience. They've, and you know, the more we cut out the nonsense and get the real stuff, the better. And then hopefully you won't make the same mistakes we all did when we started, and then you can get to the ground and they've covered for you. Okay. Good, Abe, fantastic. We want to get rid of this nonsense, which I did, and we all started. Most of my several years of it didn't have all this stuff and no one to hold, and that kind of the hard way. Learn from the old man here. Hopefully it will come better for you. Okay. Right, guys. Okay. Good. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you again at 4. Those who can make it. Remember, those who can't, it's posted, recorded on the portal. Go to social media, go to YouTube. They're all on there. Don't forget, don't do it out of date, because we'll be out of date. Markets move. But anyway, if you missed today's or tonight's and look at it, it's all recorded there. Okay. Thanks, Fania. Thanks for your support, Fania, as always, by the way. And thank you as well, Peter. Another regular person. You've been doing this a month or two and already getting ideas, sort of thing. So stick it out, put it in. Okay, guys, see you later on. Thanks very much.